What's up guys, it's Tajae here, back with another Last of Us Part 2 informational video, and today I actually want to talk about a topic that I've talked about in the past, which has to be with Joel and him having a new DLC in the Last of Us Part 2. And the reason why I'm doing like an update video on this is because a lot of people have been asking about like my opinion on this, and I have a lot of new subs, so it's like, why not do a little update? Plus, it'd be a nice little topic. So if you guys could go ahead and hit the like button on this video, let's shoot for 300 likes. I really appreciate that, as well as subscribe to the channel with post notifications on, because I upload daily Last of Us Part 2 quality content, and I think you really appreciate everything that I do here. And yeah, let's get right into the new news. So all of us big major fans of The Last of Us know that the first game actually had a DLC called Left Behind, which focused on, the narrative of Ellie's backstory and how she got bitten and what happened to her friend Riley. The DLC also showed what Ellie went through in the winter to keep our big boy man Joel alive, since he did get impaled when he fell off the balcony of the university. And that DLC actually brought more than just more story. It actually introduced more animations for Ellie, since we are primarily playing as her in that DLC. So they brought more animations for like melee kills with her switchblade. Naughty Dog also went through and tested how a variety of encounters would work. So pretty much, if there's clickers and human-based enemies inside the same room, how could you like let that play out? Like if you could let them fight each other, if you use the clickers to your advantage, if you could kill both of them at the same time, if you could join the fight, watch it go down, all that. They pretty much played around with what it'd be like to have infected and enemies that are human inside the same exact room. And yeah, that's pretty much everything that they worked on in that DLC, everything that they approved on, and it was just a solid 3-hour experience. And I love that DLC. It's a piece of work. It really is. It's a piece of art. It's not as big and vast as the Uncharted Lost Legacy game, which was supposed to be a DLC, but it's definitely a nice vertical slice of the gameplay, if you get that reference. But all jokes aside, guys, it's definitely a piece of art, and it's something you need to check out. So that was pretty much my mini fast 2-minute recap of the Left Behind DLC. Now we can move on and talk about The Last of Us 2 and what I mean about when I say I want to see a Joel DLC. So as a lot of you guys already know, if you've been a long time subscriber to the channel, aka the 4 months I've been here, that reoccurring events that happened in history will very much so happen again. And we know that Naughty Dog, for their past 2 games, okay, for Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us, that they have dropped DLCs for these games. And for The Last of Us, of course, they did the Left Behind DLC, which was about 3 hours. And then for Uncharted 4, they actually announced the DLC when they first dropped the game, and that DLC turned out to be a brand new full game called Uncharted The Lost Legacy. Now, if you guys actually did not know, the Uncharted The Lost Legacy is a full game, as I said, but it was originally just supposed to be a DLC that was going to clock around maybe like 2.5 to 3 hours, just like the Left Behind was. But Naughty Dog actually came out and stated that the ideas they had was so vast and they're working on it so much that instead they just end up making it into a brand new game, and it just all happened by chance. Like, they're just working really hard, and we do know this studio is all about perfection. So yeah, I'm not saying that's gonna happen for The Last of Us 2, but yeah, that's pretty much what happened for the Uncharted Lost Legacy, if you guys did not know. Now, feeling that Naughty Dog has done this twice in the past, I very, very much do feel so. It is justified to believe that there will be another DLC for their newest game, which will be The Last of Us Part 2, and I feel like that DLC will consist primarily around Joel. Now, here's actually why I think that. So as you guys already know, that Last of Us Part 2, our primary protagonist of this game is Ellie, and this is the character that we'll be playing through the entire journey with. And yeah, this has been confirmed literally forever ago when the game was first announced. So yeah, Ellie will be the main character of this game. And if we go back to the first game, we actually had mini segments in the first game where we did play as Ellie, and that's whenever Joel was out of action. So I do believe that The Last of Us Part 2, we should have a DLC. We primarily play as Joel, because the first game we played as Joel, and then we got in DLC of Ellie. Second game we play as Ellie, see a DLC for Joel. Reoccurring themes in history. Now, this is exactly what I think we'll be seeing in this DLC for Joel. So if you guys think of the cutscene whenever Joel met back up with his brother Tommy, and it was pretty much giving Tommy the entire rundown of Ellie and why they've been traveling across this nation looking for the Fireflies, which Tommy is an ex-Firefly, which gives Joel the idea, well, since Tommy, you're an ex-Firefly, why don't you transport her for me and finish it off, since you're the only one who could really know where the Fireflies are at this point. And this breaks into an argument because Tommy says that he has a lot to lose, like his wife, he has his community of people that he looks after, and that he doesn't really want to leave. Now, this actually breaks into an argument because Joel feels like Tommy has to do this because Joel kept him alive for the first 20 years of this outbreak, and that's when Tommy says, you gave me nothing but nightmares from those 20 years. And we do know that Joel was an ex-hunter. We found that out in Pittsburgh whenever he was talking to Ellie about how did he know that the whole ambush happened. So we do know Joel was an ex-hunter. We know Joel has gotten into smuggling because he's been working with Tess and he met Bill. There's been a lot of different things that happen in the background behind the scenes with Joel in those 20 years, as well as what are the nightmares that Tommy has gotten from Joel. So there's a lot of different things we'll be able to see, because we do know that Joel is a broken man who who lost his daughter a day after his birthday, which was the day of Outbreak Day, which is September 26th, which makes his birthday September 25th. This literally all happened so fast, and he is a man just trying to survive, and he's done a lot of things to survive. I wouldn't say Joel is a bad person. I wouldn't say he's a good person. He's just solely, just a survivor, and he does what he has to do. And as he said, no matter what you go through, you always keep looking to find something to fight for, okay? He said this at the very end of the game. This is very iconic stuff here. So yeah, that actually answers the first thing that I feel like this DLC could be about, and that's the first 20 years. Plus, there's just so much you could go over. Like, Tess even said, like, after there's enough here that you should be obligated. Like, what's been going on between Joel and Tess? Were they like a past relationship? How did Joel meet Tess? How did Joel start smuggling? How did Joel meet Bill? What has Joel and Bill been through? Why does Bill owe Joel these favors? There's so much that possibly could have happened. And again, the nightmares that Tommy has gotten, the memories, like all those different things. What did Joel do right after like the outbreak? What happened as soon as Sarah died? There's so many answers and so many things that could have happened in that 20 years that I love to see. So that's the first thing that I feel like this DLC could be about, if there is to be a DLC. And then here's the second thing I actually feel like the Last of Us Part 2 DLC can actually be about, which is again has to do with Joel. So another thing that a lot of people have been predicting with the Last of Us Part 2 story is that, that Ellie is on this quest run for vengeance, and Joel is actually trying to chase after her and get her to stop and pretty much not go with it. Now, before I actually continue on, this is not how I'm saying the story is going to go. I'm just theoretically speaking, if let's say something along these lines do happen, I feel a DLC could be, a quick rundown of Joel's side of this story, Joel's side of the Last of Us Part 2, everything that Joel did whenever, he's not on screen, pretty much kind of like the whole thing that the first DLC was for Ellie, how Joel, how Ellie kept Joel alive. I feel like that's very much a possibility. Now, I'm not saying that's exactly how the story is going to go. The story could go literally any way possible, but I feel like the whole basis of this second DLC could just be pretty much the entire basis of the first DLC. Pretty much what happened off screen with our main character that we didn't get to see. That's pretty much the second thing, the second topic, the second deal breaker they could have for this DLC. So yeah, pretty much as I said, the first thing would be the 20 years that we didn't get to see of Joel. The second thing would be anything that Joel did, off screen in The Last of Us Part 2. So yeah, I feel like it's very credible that The Last of Us Part 2 could get a DLC. As I said before, Uncharted 4 got one, which is another full game, which is completely awesome. And then Last of Us 2 got one, which was Left Behind, which I love that DLC, one of my favorites ever. And yeah, so that's pretty much my opinion on the whole Last of Us Part 2 DLCs. I want to know what you guys think. As you already know, like, I love conversating with you guys. So if you guys could actually drop some comments down below, what do you think about, Joel having a DLC in The Last of Us Part 2? What do you think that DLC will consist of? As well as if you have any other discussional ideas you want to relay to me to talk about, go ahead and drop those in the comments below. As well as if you have something very vast you want to talk to me about, anything at all, you can always reach out to me on Instagram and Twitter at Tajae Moment. And, we could just talk over there on Twitter, and it'll be, some great times. And I don't know if you get on Twitter a lot, but I actually tweet a lot about The Last Part 2. This is like a game I love. I'm always tweeting about it. So you could definitely go ahead and hit the follow button and put on the notification bell for my tweets. I think you really enjoy what I have to say over on Twitter. Sometimes I give mini updates. Sometimes I give you guys my thoughts, any questions. And Twitter is just a very great way to connect with me whenever I'm not on YouTube, because I'm not always on YouTube. And yeah, also just a friendly weekly reminder that Outbreak Day is September 26th. And as you guys already know, there should be a new gameplay coming very soon, a new trailer that we have not seen coming that day. So just know, make sure you also have them post notifications on, because I will be live streaming whenever they have like their little event for Outbreak Day. If there is one, whatever's happening Outbreak Day, just know that I will be live streaming that, and that is an event you do not want to miss. There's always a lot of people to those. I've only ever held like 2 viewing parties, and the first one we got up to 425 viewers, the second we got up to 125. So it's always very much great times whenever we have those viewing parties. So definitely make sure you come out, all the fans come together, we all talk, and it's just a great time. And last thing before I go, if you guys could definitely go ahead and check out my recent post before this video. If you just go to the uploads and you go to the video before this, I actually did a video project that I worked really hard on. It took me like a couple days to make, and I put a lot of blood, sweat, and feelings into that, and I actually cried while making that video, because it's like very reminiscent, and it's about 3D platformers, which is something that I loved playing as a kid. So definitely, if you guys could go check that video out, that would be very much so appreciated. And yeah, it's been Tajae. If you're new, definitely go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Click that notification bell. I upload daily Last Part 2 content, as I said before. You really appreciate everything that I put up on this channel, and I appreciate everything you guys do to support this channel. So yeah, it's been me. I'm out. Make sure to follow on Twitter as well at Tajae Moment, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another banger.